This is the Life is Easy, Life is Good video blog, and this is the 29th video. So we've been talking about how all goodness and all blessings are specifically designed for our enjoyment. And that's just kind of like when we shop for our loved ones, we're specifically trying to pick out a gift that they would personally and in the same way, our Creator is giving us and putting into our life good things that we can personally enjoy and put a smile on our face and give us joy. And the only issue why we don't experience a lot of this enjoyment is because we don't take the time to cherish and savor every single good thing that happens in our life, from the minorest thing to the biggest thing. So if you're hitting all green lights on the way to work, you have to realize that that was Source or the Creator or God or the universe specifically giving you that blessing so that you made it to where you needed to go on time. Or if you just happen to notice that it's a nice day outside and it's nice weather. If you enjoy nice weather, then that nice weather was specifically given just for you to enjoy that day. So I want us to begin to think about that our Source and our Creator is not hesitant or reluctant to give us any goodness, because I think that's at least what I held for a long time, a belief I held. And I realized it was a misconception. And what I began to actually see and experience and trust to believe is that our Source is actually eager to give us overwhelming joy. And it's actually wanting to treat us better than we treat ourselves. And that's possible only when we're willing to give up our own self-protection and give that responsibility over to the Creator. So when we're trying to protect ourselves from harm, and if we have an agenda to have our life go good, then that's when we'll continue to kind of put out a negative energy so that negative things continue to cycle into our lives. But we'll begin to see good things cycle into our lives on a frequent basis when we're able to open up our hearts and trust again and not fear disappointment, and just know that our primary source of goodness is coming from our Creator. So that's what we talked about last week. And this week I wanted to continue on the subject that all goodness and blessings are specifically designed for us to enjoy. And there's a big difference between being spoiled for selfish reasons, for material or outward success, and being spoiled with goodness of inner wealth and being able to have immeasurable pleasure and enjoyment in life. So an inner excitement about life is the true easy and good life. So there's a story that I wanted to share with you, and it's a story from an ancient spiritual text, and it's from the New Testament, and it's a story of a crippled man. And so this is, to me, what the good life looks like. So how do we get from begging for an outside, invisible, intangible source to help us with our lives or with our problems to feeling like dancing and singing about life? Because that's the relationship that we can actually have with our Source and with our Creator. So there was a crippled man who sat outside of a church service day after day begging for money. And he couldn't walk, and he was clearly crippled. He was clearly homeless, and he begged for money day after day. And two ministers that were going into the church service actually walked past him and looked at him and said, "You're asking for money. We don't have any money, but what we do have is far better than money." And I'm sure the first thing that the crippled person thought of was, what could be better than money? What could you give me that was better than money? So one of the ministers grabbed him by the hand, pulled him up, and commanded that he walked. And not only did he walk, but he started leaping and jumping, and he started just expressing how thankful and joyous he was that he could actually walk again. And to me, the greatest miracle is not that he was crippled and could walk again, but the greatest miracle is that after years, because he was born crippled, after all those years hanging his head low, feeling depressed, feeling hopeless and helpless, that he would never be able to walk. So he's just reduced for asking for money so that he could buy something to escape the pain of not being able to walk or not being able to move forward in life. So the biggest miracle of that story is that he felt good and felt excited on the inside. Not that he could physically walk, but he actually felt like living again. So there's a few things that I wanted to point out about this story that can actually kind of help us be able to know what the good life looks like for us personally. So the first thing is that he was crippled, which means that he could not move forward in life. And there's plenty of times in my life, and I don't know about yours, is if you try to actually do something or accomplish something in your life that you stumble and crash to the ground. So that was his experience physically. So a lot of times that's our experience metaphorically when we're trying to move forward in life. The other thing is he was begging for money. He wanted help with his outer life. He wanted better material success. And a lot of times what that looks like for us is not so much cash, but we want a better career, we want a better family, we want better parents, we want more money, we want better friends. And so what we are asking for is not a true solution to our true problem. What we're asking for is circumstantial pleasure to escape the problem. But our true problem is that we aren't moving forward with life when we face the same problem. So if we have an issue that we're facing, the real solution to the problem is not that it doesn't happen again, but it's when we have the inner excitement, the inner joy, and the inner ability not to worry when we are faced with that problem that is the true solution to the problem. So we can ask for a better life on the outside, or we can ask for a better life on the inside, so that when problems arise, it seems as if those problems aren't even there because we're living such a life of enjoyment on the inside. So when the minister said, we don't have any money, but I'll give you something far better than money, what he was really saying is that I'm going to give you the ability to feel like you're rich on the inside. So, and that's far better than having $1 million, but feeling like a poor, crippled person. So I'd rather be a poor, crippled person, but feel like $1 million on the inside. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about living the good life. So what the minister really gave him was pure and uninhibited joy. And that's what we really need. Not a temporary, convenient circumstances, but we need the ability to feel rich on the inside forever in all circumstances. So we can have a great career, a great family, a great house, a great car, and great friends on the outside. But there's a big difference between all those things which can be lost or stolen through circumstances, and the difference between having those things and having the entire universe at our fingertips because we have it in good with the Creator. So that's what I'm talking about is knowing that you have it in good with the Creator. You have, you know big people in high places. And when you are aware of that, you have the entire universe at your fingertips. So you don't have to worry yourself about individualized, itemized, luxurious items. When what you really have is the ability to feel rich on the inside, and that takes care of everything else. So that's really all we need in life, because when horrible things happen and pass over, the ability to feel rich on the inside is really living the too good to be true life. That's all I wanted to share for now. This is going to be on our Facebook page, facebook.com/life is easy, life is good, and on our YouTube channel, this video. And like I said, this is the last chapter of the book. So these videos correspond with the book I'm writing, which I'm actually done with now. All I really need to do is edit it for a final draft and actually submit it over to Amazon for copies. So once again, if you'd like a free copy, a free electronic copy of the book, please inbox me, email me, somehow communicate with me. We're on Twitter on Life is Easy, Life is Good. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Send me a message. Just let me know you want a free copy, and I'll get that over to you once we have a final copy. And if you want to, you can purchase it on Amazon. But if you let me know you want a copy, it'll be absolutely free. So thanks for watching once again. I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.